Hello, aspirants. Welcome to IAS Mentorship. I welcome you all to the very special video, which is very important for you for upcoming prelims examinations. And it is for economy because in economy, these type of questions used to come. In this session, what we have done, we have collected the temporary issues which are going on such as your inflation, GDP, capital output ratio, appreciation, depreciation, devaluation. Okay. So all these issues which are going on, what will government take steps during this time? Clear? The main focus will be to make you clear all the concepts related to this fundamental topics which I have said you like if governments want to increase the GDP, what are the steps taken by government? Option will be there and then we will analyze what can be done. Because we have been seeing the trend for UPSC prelims examination, it is focusing more on conceptual rather than factual. So that is why we have bought this special video focusing on economy and I hope that you will like it and I am 100% sure that it is going to help you in your upcoming prelims examinations. Clear? So first of all, let us start with our topic and slowly you will understand that what this lecture is about. I have covered around 15 to 20 topics which are extremely important and along with that I have already also discussed PYQs. Okay? So that will help you to answer the question effectively. Also, all the things are based on recent trends. That means that I have linked the static with current affairs also. So this is your one-stop solution for understanding the trend-based questions coming in the examination. Let us move ahead and understand the first topic, that is your tax to GDP ratio. Basically, if we talk about ratio in mathematics, what does it mean? It means that A is to B, that means that A by B. So if I am saying tax to GDP ratio, which means that tax is to GDP, or you can write in this form also tax upon GDP, correct? So basically this fraction denotes that if my GDP is 100 units, understand this with example, if my GDP is 100 units, how much amount of tax is here? Okay, basically what I am saying that if I write that 10 upon 100, okay, my tax to GDP ratio is 10 upon 100. So this means that if my GDP is 100 units, in this 100 unit, 10 part is from tax. Okay, I am getting tax how many units? 10 units. Okay, so this is your tax to GDP ratio. So if I say that higher tax to GDP ratio is present in the scenario, what does it mean? Basically, it means that tax collection is very good, tax collection is very efficient, and that is why tax is high in amount as compared to the GDP. Understood? I will explain you again. See, if I am saying that this ratio, tax to GDP ratio is high, this means that my tax share in the GDP is being increased, which is a very positive thing. That means that people are now submitting tax properly on time and government is also very efficiently collecting tax on time. So basically, if this ratio increases, this means that the share of tax in my GDP is increasing. That means that 20 upon 100 happened, okay, or 50 upon 100 happened. Means out of 100 units of GDP, 50 units come from the tax. So it is very important to have high tax to GDP ratio because it increases the country's economy resources and it also tries to measure the size of country's tax revenue as compared to its GDP. That I have already explained to you. A greater tax to GDP ratio indicates that government can cast a wider fiscal net. Why wider fiscal net? Because now government is able to take more money from tax. Earlier just 10 units were coming, now 50 units are coming. So it can bridge its fiscal deficit. Okay. What is fiscal deficit? Fiscal deficit refers to the higher expenditure as compared to the revenue. So this is your tax to GDP ratio. Question can come, and question has already came in 2015 if you see. What does the question say? Let us see. A decrease in tax to GDP ratio of a country indicates which of the following scenario? First, slowing economic rate, growth rate. Second, less equitable distribution of national income. So what do you think? What can be the answer? As I have already told you that if my tax to GDP ratio is higher, this means that my economy is very good. So vice versa is happening here. Decrease is happening, which means that from my 100 units of GDP, very less portion is coming from the tax collection. So yes, the first statement is correct. It slows down the economic growth rate. And the second statement is also correct, that there is less equitable distribution of national income. That is why tax is not being collected properly. So both the statements are correct, and option is your correct option is your C. Moving on ahead, let us see what is next. This is also very important. All the questions, whatever, all the topics, whatever I have taken has came in your previous year question. I will show you in which year it has came. Capital output ratio. Basically, this is again ratio. We can say capital is to output. Basically, this ratio shows that how much capital you are putting in to come out with a resultant output. Clear? If your capital is less, if you are putting less amount of capital and your output is excellent, coming very huge, that means that your work is very efficient. What do we see during the preparation of UPSC? That smart work should be there. Okay, less effort and great results. In that working, you should work. So basically, what does capital output ratio says? Basically, it indicates the amount of capital needed to produce 1 unit of output. For example, if I am saying that I need to produce this amount of goods, this is my package of goods, I need to produce this amount of good. Okay, I need to deliver it. So I will be incurring how much loss, how much money for that. I need to buy boxes worth of rupees 100. Then I need to buy some goods which I will keep in these boxes worth of rupees 500. And then I again need some 10 rupees for the packaging. So in total, if we see 610 rupees, I am putting in this whole process to deliver this product. Okay, deliver this product. This is just 1 unit of product. And one on the other hand, if I see that if I do my smart work, okay, if I take some jugaad, you can say in Hindi jugaad. So what does I do? What will I do here? The same amount of good, the other person, this is of person A and this is of person B. The same amount, the same goods the other person producing is in just 50 rupees for the boxes. Goods are coming for just 300 rupees and packaging is costing just rupees 5. Total he is incurring just 355 rupees to produce the same amount of basket which A has produced in 610. So this is your capital to output ratio. Okay. If COR is high, despite saving high and generating enough capital or output, our output may not grow significantly because COR is high. This is your high part and this will not generate any proper profit. So that is why we should focus on less capital output ratio. Less capital output ratio is best. Clear? Don't confuse yourself that less is always negative. No, here less plays a very good role. Clear? So let us see some question related to capital output ratio which has come in 2018. Despite being a higher saving economy, Capital formation may not result in significant increase in output due to what? See, what is the question? That people are saving a lot, despite, but still there is very less capital formation. Generally, what is the theory of economy? People used to save, and that saved money goes into investment. Investment create assets, capital. So still, despite your economy's high saving, but still capital formation is not proper. Okay, capital formation is not giving you increase in the output. Why? Because that is having high capital to output ratio. Because we are putting high amount of capital to produce just 1 unit of output. Understood the scenario? Why it is happening? Clear? Fine. This is like, see, example we can take of a real life example. Suppose that you are saving 100 rupees per day. Your saving is so much large. But just what happens at the end of the day, you need to buy books and your whole 100 rupees goes away because you have bought a very expensive notebook. Instead of buying 3 notebooks in 100 rupees, you have just bought one notebook in 100 rupees. So, despite you have saved a lot, but that saving amount, did it help you to buy 3 books? No. That is the case here. Clear? Okay. Next is your budget deficit. Budget deficit, if you break the word, which means that expenditure is very high as compared to income. Understood? My E is very high as compared to income. My pocket money is 100 my expense is 100 rupees and my income is just 70 rupees. The 30 rupees is my budget deficit. 30 rupees is my pocket deficit for government. Budgetary, now for budgetary word, it is your budget deficit. Clear? Which expenditure exceeds revenue. Now, what government can do to reduce deficit? Now, I have incurred this 30 rupees deficit, but government has incurred 30 rupees deficit. Now, what government will do to reduce it, to lower this amount? First one, it will reduce the revenue expenditure. Basically, obviously, if expenditure is greater in number, you need to decrease it, right? Then only you can bridge the gap. Next is to rationalize the subsidies. Rationalizing subsidies also kind of your it, it is a major government expenditure government is putting on public welfare. So government needs to rationalize it. Rationalize means giving subsidies only to that field which is extremely important, not on the everything government is giving subsidy. So if that can be reduced, deficit can be also reduced. On the other hand, you need more money. Okay, you need more money to bridge this, to bridge your income. Okay, basically, you can do, if we try to understand, I am telling you again, if your expenditure is greater than income, two things you can do here. First, either to reduce the expenditure or to increase your income, right? How you can bridge the gap? Either you can reduce your expenditure or you can increase your income. Reducing expenditure, what are the two methods? First is your reducing expenditure and second is your rationalizing subsidies. And if you want to increase your income so that your budget deficit goes less, you can raise the taxes. If you are raising taxes, you are taking more money from the people and hence you can increase your income. So these are the some scenarios where budget can be deficit. The budget deficit can bridged. Clear? Understand one more thing. We will do after seeing this question. See, this question has came in 2015. There has been a persistent deficit budget year after year. Okay. Which action or actions of the following can be taken by Government of India to reduce the deficit? Here four options are given. Now try to tell me what you will be doing. Okay. Reducing the revenue expenditure, absolutely correct statement. One is correct, which means that we can eliminate the B part. Introducing new welfare schemes. What do you think? Can this bridge the deficit? Hmm? Absolutely not. Why? Introducing new welfare scheme will require more money. More money, which means that again your expenditure is going in a high direction, and your high expense means that your what your budget deficit has increased. तो अगर आप लोग इस लॉजिक से इक्वेशन से याद करने का इकोनॉमी को ट्राई करेंगे तो इकोनॉमिक्स विल बी गेम फॉर यू रादर देन स्ट्रेस फॉर यू. ठीक है. अगर भाई गवर्नमेंट वेलफेयर स्कीम में पैसा डालेगी तो एक्सपेंस उनका बढ़ेगा. ठीक है. आपके पॉकेट गवर्नमेंट के पॉकेट से पैसे ज्यादा निकलेंगे तो ऑब्वियसली बजट डेफिसिट ज्यादा होगा. तो दिस स्टेटमेंट इज रॉन्ग. So we can eliminate this also because here is 2. What is left? 1 and 3 only, which means that 1 is correct. Let us see what is next. Rationalizing subsidies. What do you think? Absolutely correct statement. Okay, absolutely correct statement. So 1 and 3 option is correct. Fourth is also wrong because if you reduce the import duty, which means that you are reducing your income. You are reducing your income. Import duty refers to if India is importing something from, for example, your US, and when the product reaches to India, it puts some duty, puts some amount there, and then we can sell it out in our market. So if that import is reduced, government income is also reduced. So if government income is reduced, how you will bridge the deficit? You will be in more pressure condition. Okay, so that is why option A and C is your correct option. Let us move ahead and see what is next. GST. Very important and a very hot topic also. Basically, we all know about goods and service tax. It's an indirect tax for the whole nation. Indirect है ये, direct नहीं है ना? Which will make India one unified common market. Obviously, one tax, GST. One nation, one GST. It's like that. What are the advantages of implementing it? Easy compliance, improved cascading effect. Okay. Basically, what was happening, cascading effect, you must already have learned in economics that multiple taxes were imposed at all the points. That is your cascading. Improved competitiveness, gain to manufacturers, exports, better control on leakages, high revenue efficiency. So all these things are example of GST. Okay. Let us see what is next. Yeah. Let us go to the question and the question's explanation is given here. You can refer. आप लोग ऐसा बोलोगे कि मैम आपने लास्ट पैराग्राफ तो पढ़ा ही नहीं. इसलिए नहीं पढ़ा क्योंकि ये क्वेश्चन का एक्सप्लेनेशन है. तो पहले क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लेते हैं, then you can refer it. What are the most likely advantages of implementing GST 2017 just after the implementation of GST? First, it will replace multiple taxes collected by multiple authorities and thus will create a single market. Absolutely correct statement है भाई, कोई दिक्कत ही नहीं है. It will drastically reduce the current account deficit drastically. This is your red flag. कोई भी चीज ड्रास्टिकली रिड्यूस नहीं होती है, उसको टाइम लगता है रिड्यूस होने में. ठीक है. ऐसा नहीं है कि आज आपका करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट 8% है तो कल सुबह आप सो के उठे तो अरे वाह 3.5 हो गया. ये ड्रास्टिक चेंज है. ड्रास्टिक का मतलब होता है बहुत जल्दी से बहुत ज्यादा मात्रा में. ठीक है. एंड विल इनेबल इंडिया टू इंक्रीज. ये तो छोड़ ही दो, पहले ही स्टेट वर्ड ही गलत है तो इसको मार्क करो रॉन्ग. ड्रास्टिकली रिड्यूस नहीं होगा. हाँ, रिड्यूस होगा, नो डाउट. करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट विल बी रिड्यूस्ड बाय जीएसटी बट नॉट ड्रास्टिकली. एक वर्ड की वजह से आप लोग कंफ्यूज होके गलत आंसर मार्क करके आएंगे, ऐसा नहीं करना है. सेकेंड ऑप्शन इज रॉन्ग. बी गया, डी गया, बचा फिर 1, 1 and 3. It will enormously increase the growth and size of the economy and will enable it to overtake China in near future. अब बताइए भाई क्या सही है क्या गलत है, बताइए. थर्ड वाला स्टेटमेंट सही है कि नहीं भाई? इट विल एनेबल टू ओवरटेक चाइना इन नियर फ्यूचर. क्या गारंटी है इसकी? इसकी कोई गारंटी है? ये 2017 का क्वेश्चन है. कैन वी गारंटी कि इनॉर्मस अगेन एक्सट्रीम वर्ड. नो डाउट इट विल इंक्रीज द ग्रोथ बट ड्रास्टिकली, इनॉर्मसली, it will enable to overtake China. ये सब चीजें assumption based होती है. We cannot guarantee it for sure. Okay. So this statement is also wrong and option A is your correct answer. Clear? अब आप लोगों को पढ़ना होगा, आप लोग पढ़ लीजिएगा, यही इसमें लिखा हुआ है. क्लियर? ओके. लेट अस मूव अहेड एंड सी नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, दैट इज योर मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी. बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है ये भी. बेसिकली आरबीआई के द्वारा लाया गया है, बॉट बाय आरबीआई. It manages money and interest rate, controls inflation, savings, investment capital formation. Okay. Basically, this monetary policy has been mandated under which act? These are some of the prelims facts. Okay. 1934. Bi-monthly announce होता है, मतलब 2 month में एक बार. Okay. समझ में आ गया? Quantitative tools. What are the quantitative tools for monetary? Basically, monetary policy, money की policy, monetary policy. How we can control the flow of money in our economy? That is your monetary policy. ये handle करती है RBI. Already आप लोगों ने ये पढ़ा है. I am just revising for you. First is your cash reserve ratio. ये quantitative tools हैं. ठीक है? Cash reserve ratio, what is it? बेसिकली क्या होता है, बैंक्स जो होते हैं वो आरबीआई के पास कुछ परसेंट अपने एनडीटीएल का, नेट डिमांड एंड टाइम लायबिलिटीज का डिपॉजिट करके रखते हैं. दे यूज टू कीप देयर डिपॉजिट्स इन द आरबीआई. देयर इज नो मिनिमम एंड नो मैक्सिमम लिमिट, मैंडेटरी फॉर ऑल बैंक्स. क्लियर? And why banks need to keep some amount of money to RBI? So that in case of any crisis happened, उनके पास कुछ सेविंग होनी चाहिए, है ना, सेविंग होनी चाहिए. तो ये सब उसके डिटेल्स हैं, आप लोग इसको देख सकते हैं. क्या पेनाल्टी है, कितना रेट है, यू कैन रीड इट आउट हियर. आई नो दैट यू हैव ऑलरेडी रेड आउट, जस्ट रिवाइज इट. सेकेंड इज योर स्टैट्यूटरी लिक्विडिटी रेशियो. अब cash reserve ratio is that money which banks keep with RBI. But statutory liquidity ratio is that money which banks need to keep with itself. अपने पास ही उनको रखना रहता है in the form of G securities, cash, gold, T-bills, state development loans, etc. और जो भी other notified by RBI. This is also to expand the bank credit to have safety, so that they can ensure the solvency of commercial bank. अब मुझे ये बताइए कि अगर स्टैट्यूटरी लिक्विडिटी रेशियो की जो रेट है वो अगर कम होती है, इफ आई डिक्रीज, चलो मैं नहीं करूंगी, आरबीआई कर रही है, इफ आरबीआई डिक्रीज द एसएलआर, व्हाट विल हैपन इन द मार्केट? इफ एसएलआर डिक्रीजेस, मतलब कि बैंक्स को पैसे कम रखने रहेंगे, मनी saved will be less. अब बैंक मनी सेव्ड इज लेस, मतलब कि मार्केट में मनी ज्यादा हो गए, तो बैंक्स कैन गिव मोर लोन्स टू पीपल. नाउ समझ में आ रहा है? ज्यादा लोन्स दे सकती है बैंक. एंड इफ दे आर गिविंग मोर लोन्स, पीपल आर टेकिंग मोर लोन्स, मोर इन्वेस्टमेंट, मोर इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ. तो ऐसे इक्वेशन सेट करके आरबीआई यूज टू मैनेज देन बैलेंस द इकोनॉमी. What is MSF, marginal standing facility? Basically ये क्या होता है? If any scheduled commercial bank SCB needs to borrow some urgent money requirement उसके पास आ जाती है, and he need to borrow the additional amount of overnight short time money from RBI, then you can go with the MSF. और इसका रेट जो है हमेशा ज्यादा होता है. ठीक है? जैसे नॉर्मली बैंक्स जो फॉर एग्जाम्पल नॉर्मली बैंक्स जाके 4% की रेट पे लोन लेके आ रहे हैं एग्जाम्पल, बट एमएसएफ इज अर्जेंट टाइप ऑफ नीड, है ना, बैंक तुरंत आपको पैसा दे रही है, वो भी इतना ज्यादा अमाउंट में, तो ये थोड़ा आपका ज्यादा होता है फ्रॉम द रेपो रेट. ओके, इट इज ग्रेटर देन रेपो रेट. व्हाट इज रेपो रेट? रेपो रेट इज द रेट at which bank borrows money from the RBI. What is reverse repo rate? Reverse repo rate is the rate at which RBI borrows money from the bank. Clear? I know you all have already been revised very well. So that is why I am moving ahead with the question. That is your 2015. When RBI reduces the statutory liquidity ratio by 50 basis point, which of the following is likely to happen? ये 50 basis point को भूल जाओ. बस ये याद रखो कि रिड्यूस हुआ है हमारा SLR, क्या होगा बताइए? इंडिया जीडीपी ग्रोथ रेट इंक्रीजेस ड्रास्टिकली, फिर से ड्रास्टिकली आ गया, एब्सोल्युटली नॉट. Foreign institutional investors may bring more capital into our country. No. What is the relation for foreign investor and our own statutory liquidity ratio? No. Scheduled commercial bank may cut their lending rates. Absolutely correct statement. It may drastically देख के statement काट दिया करो, ठीक है? चल. So third option is absolutely correct, that yes, when SLR is decreased, banks are having more money in their hand, so they can give more loans in your reduced lending rates. Okay. Next topic, money multiplier. What is a money multiplier? Money is getting multiplied. Basically what happens, you go to the bank, you are going bank and you are having lots of money, suitcase full of money you are having, and you deposit your bag here. Now what bank will do? You will sign an agreement that only after 1 year I will come and then I will take my whole of the money. Bank says, wow, 1 year? I am the controller of your I am the controller of 10 lakh rupees. Suppose this is 10 lakh, okay? I am the controller of 10 lakh rupees for 1 year. It's a great thing. Now I should use it in a very good way. तो बैंक क्या करेगी? ये 10 लाख को आगे लोन पे देगी. आगे लोन पे देगी. जो लोग लोन मांगने आए हैं कि भैया स्टार्टअप खोलना है, भैया बिजनेस चलाना है, एजुकेशन लोन फिल करना है, तो सब जितना जितना मांग होगी, माना ये 1 लाख मांगा इसने दे दिया, इसने 50,000 माना दे दिया, फिर इसने मांगा 5 लाख दे दो, दे दिया. ऐसे करके जो है बैंक डिस्ट्रीब्यूट्स द लोन टू इसको. बैंक को फायदा क्या हो रहा है? ये सबको इसने एक एक साल के टर्म के लिए दिया है, क्योंकि 1 साल के बाद बैंक को इसको भी रिटर्न करना है. तो बैंक क्या करेगी? इन लोगों से इंटरेस्ट भी तो लेगी ना. अगर इतना पैसा दे रही है लोगों को तो इंटरेस्ट भी लेगी. इससे आपका मान लो 2% इंटरेस्ट लिया, इससे आपका 1% लिया, 5 लाख वाले से आपका 7% लिया, तो बैंक का भी फायदा हुआ. अपार्ट फ्रॉम हैविंग जस्ट 10 lakh, इट इज जनरेटिंग अराउंड 25 lakh थ्रू इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट. So the money is getting multiplied here. This is the whole scenario how bank work. Clear? क्वेश्चन देखते हैं क्या है. The money multiplier in an economy increases with which one of the following? 2021 का ही क्वेश्चन है ये. Increase in the CRR, increase in the SLR, increase in banking habit of the people, increase in population of the country. Money multiplier कब increase होगी? When you increase the CRR, absolutely not. CRR increase हो जाएगा, इसका मतलब कि मनी तो कम हो गया ना मार्केट में. मतलब बैंक को पहले 5% of the money bank are requested to keep with the RBI. Now CRR has increased to 7%, which means that more amount of money is kept, less amount of money is available. So how money is getting multiplied here? No. Similar in the case of SLR also. No. Increase in the population of a country. What population will do? पॉपुलेशन इंक्रीज हो रही है, इसका ये मतलब थोड़ी ना है कि आपके पैसे मल्टीप्लाई हो रहे हैं. हो सकता है ये तो आपका बैंकिंग करे ही ना, दे आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन बैंकिंग. तो सही ऑप्शन इज इंक्रीज इन बैंकिंग हैबिट ऑफ द पीपल. इफ पीपल आर हैबिचुअल बैंकिंग, डूइंग depositing withdrawing, so this will help to multiply the money in the economy. Clear? Okay. Next is your expansionary monetary policy dovish stance. UPSC 2020 में ये क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था. I will talk about what question came. Basically expansionary का मतलब है मनी को एक्सपैंड करना. मतलब मार्केट में अगर 100 रुपए है तो उसको 500 बनाना. इंक्रीजिंग द अमाउंट ऑफ मनी प्रेजेंट इन द मार्केट. It means injection of more funds into the financial system so that there is huge lending, huge investment and huge growth. Clearing? Lowering key interest rate and enhancing the market liquidity are used to implement it. How we can do expansionary policy? कैसे कर सकते हैं? Government RBI कैसे करती है? बाई लोअरिंग इंटरेस्ट रेट, इंटरेस्ट रेट कम रखेगी तो बहुत सारे लोग लोन लेने आएंगे. लोन महंगा है तो क्यों लेगा कोई लोन, नहीं लेगा ना. If you are lessening the interest rate, more loans will be there, more investment will be there, and more money in the market will be there. Clear? So this is your everything about expansionary policy. It is all given here. This is also explanation of the question which I have given here. If RBI decides to adopt an expansionary monetary policy, which of the following it would not do? Expand करना है तो क्या नहीं करेगी यूपीएससी 2020? Cut and optimize the statutory liquidity ratio. ये करेगी क्या? नहीं करेगी कि करेगी? अगर एक्सपैंड करना है इसको तो करेगी ना. If your statutory liquidity ratio is 6%, you are cutting it to 4%, then only you are promoting expansionary policy. Then only more amount of money is going to the market. Next, increase in the marginal standing facility rate. ये नहीं करेगी. Because if my marginal standing facility rate will increase, then what will happen? Come on, tell me, what is MSF? One day for overnight banks loan लेते हैं, yeah? तो अगर if this rate is increased, which means that money is getting sucked out of from the market and it is going to the bank, so this will decrease the expansion. Okay, so this won't be doing. Cut the bank and repo rate. This will, भाई ये तो करेगी ताकि आपका ट्रांजैक्शन इजी हो. तो ऑप्शन नंबर बी इज योर करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. क्लियर? फाइन. Which one of the following is likely to be the most inflationary in its effect? अब मैंने पहले क्वेश्चन दिया है यहाँ पे और बाद में मैंने आप लोगों को कॉन्सेप्ट समझाया है. Let us see what is your inflation. What do you mean by inflation? Inflation is the rise in price of the commodity. Okay, अगर आप आज एक कमोडिटी ऑफ द बास्केट ऑफ गुड्स लेके आए जिसमें ए है, बी है, सी है, डी है, दैट कॉस्ट यू 100 rupees in 2020. Same amount of goods you bought A, B, C and that cost you 200 rupees in 2023. Inflation 100 rupees. 100% inflation, right? So this is your inflation. Now which one of the following is likely to be most inflationary? ऐसा क्या है इनमें से जिससे सबसे ज्यादा इन्फ्लेशन कॉज हो सकता है? रीपेमेंट ऑफ द पब्लिक डेट. रीपेमेंट होगा तो इन्फ्लेशन, इससे का क्या लेना देना है? नो. बोरोइंग फ्रॉम द पब्लिक टू फाइनेंस ए बजट डेफिसिट. एब्सोल्युटली नो. बोरो करेगी मतलब कि मार्केट से पैसा निकाल रही है गवर्नमेंट. मार्केट से पैसा निकलना का मतलब होता है इन्फ्लेशन घटना, है ना. बेसिकली इन्फ्लेशन क्यों होता है? इन्फ्लेशन इज कॉज ड्यू टू टू सोर्सेज. फर्स्ट इज इफ योर डिमांड इज हाई एंड सप्लाई इज लो. तो सप्लाई कम है, डिमांड ज्यादा है तो प्रोडक्ट का कॉस्ट बढ़ जाएगा. दूसरा कॉज ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन कॉस्ट पुल इन्फ्लेशन होता है. दैट मीन्स दैट अगर जो प्रोडक्ट आप बना रहे हो, द प्रोडक्ट विच यू आर मेकिंग, मैन्युफैक्चर इज मेकिंग, द इनपुट दैट इट इज यूजिंग, फॉर एग्जाम्पल पेपर. आजकल पेपर कितने महंगे हो गए. वाई पेपर महंगे? बिकॉज वुड इज महंगा, पल्प इंडस्ट्री इज गेटिंग महंगी. तो कॉस्ट पुल इन्फ्लेशन, दो तरीके से इन्फ्लेशन होती है. So if you want to decrease inflation, you need to suck out the money from the market. Basically, market में बहुत ज्यादा पैसा है. बहुत ज्यादा पैसा होने की वजह से people are excited to buy more things. Okay, demand is increasing, but supply तो goods की उतनी है, cost इसलिए बढ़ गया है. So if you borrow from the public, which means that you are taking money from the market, and this will reduce the inflation, not increase. Again, borrowing reduce करेगा. Creation of new money to finance a budget deficit. This will absolutely increase the inflation. Creation of new money, which means that money is being pumped into the market. Again, demand will increase. Supply is that only. Product price will increase. So option number 4 is your correct. Okay. Here I have already told you about deficit financing. What is deficit financing? Creation of new money won't be helpful because it will cause inflationary effect. So this is the explanation of whatever I have explained to you here. Clear? Okay. Let us move ahead and see next question, that is your, with reference to Indian economy, demand pull inflation can be caused or increased by which of the following? Expand. Demand pull inflation, अभी मैंने बताया कि people का demand is increasing, product supply is same, that is your demand pull inflation. कैसे बढ़ेगा? पहला expansionary policy, absolutely yes. Government expansionary policy बढ़ेगी, मतलब government अगर this will give more money in market. एक्सपेंशन का मतलब मनी को इंक्रीज करना. मोर मनी इन मार्केट मीन्स दैट डिमांड इज इंक्रीजिंग. ओके, डिमांड इंक्रीज होता है तो भाई इन्फ्लेशन कॉज होता है. यस. फिस्कल स्टिमुलस, let us wait here, let us assume that you don't know. Inflation indexing wages, let us drop here. Higher purchasing power, higher purchasing power, what do you mean by that? क्या होता है? Rising interest rate, rising interest rates. The fifth statement is अगर आप interest rate को बढ़ाएंगे तो inflation भी बढ़ेगा. Absolutely not. ये तो आएगा ही नहीं. If you are increasing the interest rate, which means that you are sucking out, you are pumping the money from the market. This will reduce the inflation, not increase the inflation. Fifth will not be there. Option B, C, D. Kaya 1, 2, 4 is left. So your correct option is 1, 2 and 4. Fiscal stimulus again refers to expansionary policy which government bring out for the welfare of the people. This will again increase the amount of money in the market. High purchasing power, which means that money, more money, less money can buy more things. Okay. So eventually people will be more excited to go to market and eventually this will increase the demand pull inflation and this will decrease the inflation, not increase. Inflation indexing wages is, it refers to decrease. So 1, 2 and 4 is your correct option. This I have already given you, demand pull inflation, and I have explained to you also. I have already explained inflation indexing wages. Basically, all the description is written here related to the options. You can go through it. Clear? Fine. I will be providing you the PDF. Don't worry. The PDF will be there in the description box. You can download it and refer it for your reference. With reference to the Indian economy, consider the following statements 2022. The inflation is too high. RBI is likely to buy government securities. Okay. अगर inflation बहुत है तो what RBI will do? It will buy government securities. If the rupee is rapidly depreciating, RBI is likely to sell the dollars in the market. If interest rate in USA or European Union were to fall, that is likely to introduce RBI to buy dollars. Which of the following statements are correct? Now what do you think? क्या सही होगा? Tell me. Try to answer it, try to analyze it. See, first statement, if inflation is too high, RBI will buy G securities. अगर RBI buy कर लेगी G securities को, इसका मतलब कि buy कर रही, खरीद रही है. खरीदना तो मतलब कि it is giving money to the market. पैसा मार्केट में डाल रही है तभी तो buy. If you want to buy something from the market, what you do? You give money to the shopkeeper and you take the good. Similarly, RBI is also doing. For taking G securities, it is giving money to the market. Money to the market, which means that it is pumping money into the market. Demand will increase, inflation will increase. So this will absolutely not true. ओके, बिकॉज इन्फ्लेशन अगर बढ़ा हुआ है और उसमें अगर आरबीआई ऐसा कर दे तो इन्फ्लेशन और इन्फ्लेशन बढ़ जाएगी. ओके, बेसिकली इट विल सेल द गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज, नॉट बाई. सेल करेगी. सेल करने से क्या होगा? सेल करेगी तो पैसे को मार्केट से अपने पास लेगी. It will suck the money from the market to itself and it will stabilize it. So option number A, C and D gone. Option B is your correct statement. Just by eliminating one statement, you are arriving at the answer. Let us see what is your depreciation. Basically, depreciation and devaluation are two very important topics you should know. Okay. Basically, rupee depreciation refers to, for example, in today, if we say that, let us assume that in 2022, $1 was 70 rupees. Clear? Now what is happening in 2023? What has happened? $1 became 80 rupees. Which means that our money, our rupee has depreciated. Its value is going down. Now $1 was 70. Now we need to give more amount of rupee just to buy $1, which means that our money is depreciating. This is your rupee depreciation. Clear? RBI is likely to sell dollars in the market. If it is selling dollar, how it will sell? It will take the money from the market. Okay? It will take the money from the market, and eventually what will happen? I am telling you. I hope that you understood this equation, whatever I have written here. See, if RBI will sell dollar, RBI sells dollar. If it is selling dollar, in turn, what it is doing? Taking money, rupee outside from the market. Why rupee is depreciated? Because huge amount of money, rupees there in the market. That is why its value is going very less. So if it want to stabilize the value of rupee, it will sell the dollar and take out the excess amount of rupee to itself, and eventually this will help to appreciate the rupee. Clear? So yes, two is also correct, and this is also the vice versa of statement number 3. If interest rate in US or European Union were to fall, that is likely to introduce RBI to buy dollar. Buying dollar, what will happen? If you want to buy dollar, you are taking in dollar and giving out rupee. This will eventually help. Clear? So this is your option number C. Let us move ahead. Yes, I have explained to you here basically what is rupee depreciation. Depreciation is very important. Okay. And rupee appreciation refers to, what is appreciation? $1 was 70 rupee and now $1 became 60 rupee. Clear? So our rupee has been appreciated. Means less amount of money going to have $1. Okay? Yeah. Which of the following is not the most likely measure by the government of RBI to stop the slide of Indian rupee? Not the most likely. Not it. It will not do that. 2019. Come on, tell me. Curbing imports, this government will do. Clear? It will do because we need to curb down the imports to slide down the value. Encouraging Indian borrowers to issue rupee denominated masala bonds, it will also, government will, obviously it will be doing. Easing conditions related to external commercial borrowing, this is also a positive thing. Following an expansionary monetary policy, this government will not do because it will again create inflation and it will slide down the Indian rupee. Sliding मतलब कि depreciate होना. तो inflation अगर आ गया तो और अगर expansionary policy आ गई तो और ज़्यादा the situation will get exaggerated. Clear? Okay. Here I have given you what government will do if we want to stop the slide of Indian rupee. Each and every options has been explained here. You can refer the PPT for the same. Devaluation, reducing the price, effects, what are effects, revaluation I have given you. Revaluation is just opposite of the devaluation. What are the effects? Basically, it increases the export competitiveness of goods. Why export is being increased here? Can somebody tell me? See, what is happening? $1 is 70 rupees, but now rupee has been devaluated. Just take an example. So $1 has become 80 rupees. Now more Indian goods can come in $1. Clear? Now foreigners will think, okay, wow, earlier in just $1 I can buy only one good. Now in $1 I can buy two goods, which means that I will import more. India will have a very good chance to export more, because now what is happening? Now foreigners are able to buy more amount of good in just $1. So export will increase. Okay? You need to understand it. And when your revaluation happens, your import goes in a very profitable way, because less amount of rupee is going out if your rupee is revaluated. Okay? Fine. Consider the following statements 2021. The effect of devaluation of a country is that it necessarily what? Improves the competitiveness, domestic export, absolutely true. Increase the foreign value of the domestic currency, no, it decreases the foreign value, na? That's it, that is only everything about devaluation. Two statement is wrong, this goes away. I know that one is correct, so option number A is your correct. Improves the trade balance, no, it will not improve the trade balance, because eventually our value is going down. No matter our export हमारा अच्छा हो रहा है वो तो ठीक है, लेकिन हमारा वैल्यू तो घट रहा है ना, तो ट्रेड बैलेंस कैसे ठीक होगा? नहीं होगा. Clear? Okay. Fine. Let us move ahead and see the next question that came in year 2020. If another global financial crisis happens in near future, which one of the following actions or policies are likely to give some immunity to India? बहुत ही अच्छा question है. It is basically referring to our global crisis of 2008. First, not depending upon the short-term foreign borrowings. Very good. We should not be depending on short-term foreign borrowing, because if we are depending, we need to pay back the debt. Okay, so this is the good option. Opening up to the more foreign banks, this is very wrong. We should not be opening to more foreign banks, because if global crisis is happening, foreign banks can collapse and eventually our money can get lost. Maintaining full capital account convertibility, no, this is also wrong. This is a negative thing, which we should not be doing. Capital account convertibility. Clear? Okay. So option number A is the correct, not depending on the short term foreign borrowings. Clear? Okay. This I have explained to you. The options are explained here. 2021, let us see what is it. Which among the following steps is most likely to be taken at the time of economic recession? क्या होगा economic recession में? क्या करना चाहिए? Cut in the tax rate accompanied by increase in the tax rate. Increase in expenditure on public projects. Increase in tax rates accompanied by reduction of the interest rate. Reduction of expenditure on public projects. Now what do you think? What can be the answer? Come on, try to tell me. See, here I have given you what is economic recession? What is economic recession? Negative growth. Okay, there is negative growth. So what government can do? It can decrease the interest rate so that there is more room for borrowing. Obviously, if there is no borrowing, how economic growth will happen? We need to give some amount of money to the public so that they can start investing now. Okay, so increasing the government spending also. Cut tax rate to increase spending capacity of the people. So cut in the tax rate accompanied by increase in the tax rate. Increase in expenditure of public project. Increase तो ये तो नहीं करेगी, है ना? Reduction भी ये भी नहीं करेगी. तो For if we go to the first option, it is your सबसे सटीक. Clear? Tax rate will be cut and then there will be increase in the tax. You can increase the tax rate to control the inflation. बाद में क्यों बढ़ाना है? ताकि हम inflation को भी control कर सकें. Okay? Yeah. Consider the following statements 2021. The effect of devaluation of a currency. This we have done. Yeah. This is repeated question. This we have done. Okay, fine. Okay. So this was all everything about your economic contemporary issues linking with the static portion, that what government will do during this time, what is your inflation, what is your expansionary policy, how depreciation or devaluation is being done to promote the export, and what is basically depreciation. Okay, basically depreciation क्या होता है? आपका ज़्यादा amount of rupees going out to buy just $1, that is your depreciation. Everything we have covered, capital output ratio we have covered, tax to GDP ratio, and your economy recession. So I hope in all it's a very good package for you to understand the contemporary issues, and do give me the feedback because it is very new initiative by us, and we will try to come out with some more initiatives if you keep giving us feedback. And don't forget to share this video with all your friends who are preparing for the upcoming examinations, and keep liking the video and keep watching the video and stay motivated. We will soon meet with the next lecture. Till then, keep revising.